What's going on, TTC, NFL fans, and Raider Nation? Coaster here, and talking about really the whole lockout thing. As we know, March 4th, the deadline would pass on trying to find a new CBA. As I'm filming this as of right now, there's still nothing to be done. And if the lockout does happen at the end of this week, we all know that this could go all the way to September. I mean, there could be no next season, and we knew that this would happen for a while now with the whole CBA deals, the owners and the Players Association, all that technical stuff. Lots of things to talk about regarding 18 games or 16 games. Personally, I'm in favor of 16 games just because I don't need to see 2 extra games, and seriously, I don't need to see more injuries. I like the way our teams rotate. We rotate each division. We got 2 teams that face in the same placement as us, as well as facing divisions. The way the rotation works, I like it. So I'm against the whole 18 game thing. That's terrible. There also needs to be a rookie wage scale, and I know they're trying to talk about that and negotiate. Doesn't know if a deal's gonna come or not, but some of these rookies are definitely overpaid compared to some of these guys who are proven. Obviously, as an Oakland Raider fan, I know the pain of that with contracts and rookie contracts and whatnot. Of course, Sam Bradford and Matt Stafford, even those two are paid way too much for what they're getting. I know they're rookies, and I know both those guys are showing a lot of promise, compared to what we drafted, but they're still not playing to the extent of an MVP, because that's the way their contract is, as if they are an MVP, which they are not yet. I'm not into that whole the way rookie contracts are. It's ridiculous in the NFL. So, going on with this, though, the CBA, and if there's no deal between the Players Associations and NFL, I know that a lockout will occur. It'll be very weird for me, of course, and even, of course, every NFL fan out there. Besides the players themselves and the owners and people who are connected to the teams, so many things are affected by this. Obviously, as I already said, the players themselves, but you think about some of the other industries, whether it's the jersey selling, whether it's people who work for the stadium, even college football itself is affected. You're going to probably see more skyrocket views in college football just because people want to watch the sport. They can, hopefully some of you here NFL fans would start liking college a little more, but that's for another story. So it's just kind of a wondering, what do you do? Do I start making just this whole TTC and all these video makers? I don't know what's going to happen if there's a lockout, because lately there's just been drama going on around the TTC, and we've all kind of, I won't go into detail about that, but it's been kind of ridiculous. Right after the season ends, we see drama that goes on. But now going on to a little bit more of a Raiders talk here, going on, a lot of moves that happened this past week. First of all, Stanford Routt got a big contract, and not the biggest, as big as Awesome was, but very close. And people might be saying, yes, he's overpaid, and I can agree with that, my personal take. I do think it's important to actually keep him, because I think he's better than what a lot of people say he is. Remember that he's been thrown to so much, Nnamdi Asomugha, when you have a flawless corner, almost like Asomugha is, the other side gets thrown to a lot, and I think a lot of corners would be pressured as much as he is. But if you look at the burn percentage that Stanford Routt had compared to some of the other corners out there in the league, he did alright, because he was thrown to like 10 times more than some of those other corners were, just because Awesome was on the other side. So I do agree that the contract's a little expensive. I think we're going to have to say goodbye to Nnamdi Asomugha very soon. I think the Raiders were planning for this, to be honest, because they've been stocking up a bunch of corners as if it's an audition to take place of Asomugha. Bunch of corners. Basically, we need a balanced attack, and the problem in having a superstar corner and just a corner who's good, but will get thrown to so often, it's so one-sided how half the field is covered, but the other half is shaky. You need that balance, just so that the quarterback will look both ways, because obviously for the Raiders, it's just throw the other side of Asomugha and you get you get catches, and that's not going to cut it. So the balanced attack is important. I think the Raiders have a lot of faith in his routes. I'm okay with the signing, but not the contract. Now going on to some of the other players, Richard Seymour got a big deal, and I think he deserves it. You might say he's overpaid, but we got to keep him. We gave up a first-round pick for him, and I think his leadership up front was very important. Now you might be going through the sacks, and look, he only had like 5-6 sacks last year, but he's a tackle, all right? Defensive tackles are not supposed to get sacks. He was a force up in the front, and he made the Pro Bowl last year, so when you're a Pro Bowler, you're a Pro Bowler, even though he didn't play in it. He still deserves the contract. And it's not like it's a 5-year deal, all right? He is, I think, 31, right, I'm saying this right now. I think it'd be 32 in August or September. Not sure, but Seymour deserves it because his leadership up front helps the youth and really makes everyone else better around him. So I'm fine with that. Going on to some of the other signings, John Henderson getting a fat deal. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what they're thinking, giving him the contract he's getting, a little excessive. But the other guy, Cameron Wembley, most likely get the franchise tag. I think he deserves it because he actually did lead the team in sacks, and I'm okay with that. He actually was a force up on the front seven. Remember, the Raiders were near the fronts of the league in sacks. Behind, I think, Pittsburgh. I think they're 3rd or 4th in the league. So I'm perfectly fine with Cameron Wembley getting the franchise tag. Hopefully try to get a deal with him. I think Zach Miller will stay as a Raider too. Al Davis will probably splurge or whatever. They might say, yeah, we're splurging and spending too much, but we're not. It's not my money, okay? I know Billy Bean would probably not do all this signings that Al Davis is doing, but that's another story for baseball. So don't panic too much, Raider fans. I know some of you may be mad that Awesome was gone, but we just have to stock up a bunch of cornerbacks and really find that replacement on the other side of the field if Route is on one side. I have faith in Route, I do, and having the balanced corner attack actually I think is for the better of the team. So with that being said, go Raiders as always. I'll talk again before the draft because I know whether there's a lockout or not, there will be an NFL draft in April. The combine's happening as I'm making this video, so I won't talk probably again until April regarding the Raiders, but until then, we'll see you guys later, and as always, go Raiders.